for hearing this word, what we understand. What is Shraddha? Let me give you the other perception from the Vedas later. So now we'll understand what is Shraddha according to you, because it's most used word, at least in this culture. No, so there was no conversation between our grandparents without a word of Shraddha, Moksha, Mukti, or something. So that's why what we understand in terms of Shraddha.
Dedication.
Dedication. Very good.
Concentration.
Shraddha is a concentration. Good. What is Shraddha?
Having trust and belief.
Trust, faith. No? Faith in something, having trust in something is called Shraddha. Very good. Very good. So let's take it further. Why we, being an Indian or being born in this culture, so it is my first responsibility, this is kind of my responsibility, whoever you are the seekers now yours responsibility is to not translate these words to English. So this is first responsibility that we have to take care of. Now, because the Tirtham, for example, the Tirtham doesn't have a translation in English. The Prasadam doesn't have a translation. No, even there are many such words which you can't translate into the English properly, at least into not single word. It can have a single sentence or the passage. Okay, so I request all of you to not translate these words, particularly Shraddha, Medha, Prajna, such keywords, and they denote much more meaning than what we have called Shraddha, the trust or faith, dedication, concentration, or something. No, I'll reveal you that today. Okay, this is first lesson that we have to learn it. Okay, and that could be anything. So let us take a pledge. Let us have a Shraddha in this manner, which we will Sanskritize the English. We don't bring English into Sanskrit. Okay, so that is our first pledge, first Shraddha. And so if we have to understand the word meaning of Shraddha, we have to go back to the Vedas, because Vedas are our primary source of knowledge. We have to go back to our roots. Our roots are the Veda, Itihasa, Purana, and Agama. Okay, so these are our roots, and we call them as the 14 Mahavidyas, the 14 source of knowledge. The 4 Vedas, 6 Upangas, or 6 Vedangas. Why I'm asking all such things. Okay, the Vedas are the primary sources. To understand the Vedas, we have a Vedangas. Vedangas. Even though we understand the Vedangas, we need some tools, and they are called as a Itihasa and Purana. Itihasa Puranas are the very generic subjects, generalized subjects. So we can connect with us. So we can connect with the stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Through them, we understand the Vedas. Okay, I'm not saying the Itihasas are a mythology, but still they happen. The Rama and Lakshmana, these greatest personality, they followed the Vedas and they kind of personalized, okay, kind of idealized the Vedas. So we can, if we follow the Rama's Vakya, literally we are following the Vedas. That's a sense. Okay, and this is understanding that each and every Veda seeker has to have this. So this is a fundamental line. So the next one, where does it come? Shraddha Suktam. Although we learned it already. So this comes under the Yajurveda Taittiriya Shakha Brahmanam. Such things. So each and every Veda, so even though we have 4 Vedas, in each and every Veda there is once again the 4 classification. Samhita, Aranyaka, Brahmana, Upanishad. Samhita, Aranyaka, Brahmana, Upanishad. Okay, understand simply. Samhita, Aranyaka they are the homes for many such ritualistic practices, and the Brahmana, the portion of Brahmana is kind of reminder, okay, of the mantras, of the action, of the performance there going on in the yajna side, And the Upanishads are considered as a essence of all these three. Okay, and they are called as a Upa Vedanta. Vedanam Antaha, the essence, the core part of the Veda are called as a Upanishads. So this is a brief introduction to the Vedas. Now we'll understand. Now this particular Shraddha Sukta comes in a Yajurveda Taittiriya Shakha Brahmana. So Brahmana, as I told you, the Brahmanas are not the literal Vedas, mean in the sense they are the just explanatory part of whatever is going on in the Yajna site. Okay, so Shraddha Sukta comes here. So now you have to understand. So there is a Homa going on. Now we are on the explanatory side. So we'll understand, we'll explain the Homa, what is happening and what happened already. We are giving a narration here. So now we understood the whole, particularly the whole Yajurveda is all about narrating a Vedas or narrating a Yajna parampara. Okay, so bucketing all the Yajna related mantras into one bucket is called as a Yajurveda. Okay, that's a simple understanding. Okay, now this particular Shraddha Sukta, there are many such mantras. There are many such mantras. They come in a Yajurveda as well as in a Rigveda as well as in a Samaveda, Atharvana Veda itself. So let's take an example. The Purusha Sukta. Purusha Sukta will in a very near future we are going to learn it. So the Purusha Sukta comes in all the Vedas, in all the side, in totality. Okay, there are 15 ruks. So all the 15 mantras, they come in a Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharvana Veda. And that is a speciality of the particular Purusha Sukta, means each and every Veda is saying a same Sukta, means you understand, you imagine whatever the core part of philosophy that has in within itself. Okay, in the same way, the Shraddha Sukta comes in a Rigveda, Yajurveda as well. So there is a repetition in a Rigveda and the Yajurveda. So whatever we learned is from a Yajurveda part of site. Now, when it comes to Rigveda, as I told you, if a single swara changes here and there, the whole meaning part will be changed. So that is a magic of the Veda subjects. So whatever we understand in the normal condition, conversations, we decide a meaning upon two things actually. Okay, so Shabda, then there is a context. So whatever the Shabda I use in front of you, you will understand, you will make out a meaning, and you gather some knowledge and you try to apply it to react or such thing will happen. For example, if I tell you the coffee, you will understand in a certain way and you will make it for me and give it to me. Now, this is kind of Shabda you understand, and by the understanding you create some sense within you and you get back to the action. So this is a procedure, the process which is happening. And the second thing which can decide the meaning is the context. Okay, the contextual study. The context, for example, Ajaha is an example. Ajaha means a goat or a sheep, okay, in certain senses. In a certain posture, in a certain this one, Ajaha is Brahma. Okay, I don't know why the both are sharing the same name. Nevertheless, the Ajaha is sheep in certain this one context. In certain context, Ajaha is Brahma. Although we look at the Vyutpati part of it, it says Na Jayate iti Ajaha, which means which has no birth, is called Ajaha. That's why Purusha Suktam also even in a Prajna Suktam it comes Nave Ajayamano Bahudha Vijayate, which means which has no birth and which haven't got birth till, and it is a source of all the creation. How it is possible? Who is what the thing which is not born yet, and that is a cause of the whole srishti, the whole creation. And this is a wonderful thing of a Samskrita. Even in other languages, we use that contextual the meanings. When it comes to the Veda, it is not just two things, Shabda or a Prakarana. The third thing will be added, that is what called as a Swara. No, it is not just a sound. Ajaha is giving you the meaning, not just a context which giving you the meaning. Also the Swara. That's why the language of a Veda is not just a Samskrita, it is Vaidika Bhasha. Vaidika Bhasha. Just in terms of, I'll give you the example. Ajaha. Ajaha. Are two different swaras. So in the first place, we are chanting the Swaritam. In the second place, we are chanting Anudattam. And the both swaras, in a contextual studies, if it is giving a Ajaha as a sheep, even if I put the Swaritam into the Ajaha, that certainly gives you the meaning of Brahma, not a sheep at all. Okay, and certain places Ajaha is in a Anudatta, contextually it is a Brahma. It is not a Brahma here because of Swara of Anudatta, which is sheep. Okay, that's the beauty of Samskrita here. So we have 3 steps to understand the Vedas, and we beautifully we can easily understand it as a Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adi Atmika level of understandings. So if you take a single Vakya from the Veda, will have 3 layers of meanings. What is it? Adi Daivika Drishti, the perception of Adi Atmika, the Adi Bhautika, which is the first one, the very materialistic way of looking at the mantra, or getting you the utility senses. If you adopt yourself to look at the mantra, is what called as a materialistic perception or a Adi Bhautika Drishti. And the second sense or a perception, which is Adi Daivika Drishti, which means from the mantras you are not just looking at the things of materialistic usages, also you giving them a divine senses. Okay, and that is what called as a Adi Daivika perception. And the third one, what you get out of it, is what called as a Adhyatmikam. Okay, so simply understanding it's simple to understand. Let's see, the materialistic way of looking at the mantra is what called as a Adi Bhautika Drishti. Okay, and giving them the sense of divinity is what called as a Adi Daivika. And what you get personally from the Adi Daivika and Adhyatmika, at least from the mantra, that is what called as a Adhyatmikam. Adhyatmika. And each and every sentence, each and every sukta, each and every mantra has these 3 layers of understanding or a meaning to tell. Okay, so according to this, we'll enter I'll give you some references just to mention here and there. The first ever Veda, according to the modern Vedic philosophers or Vedic this one, they say the Rigveda came first. That's why I take a reference from Rigveda. Rigveda, in a Rigveda 10th mandala, it's a 151st Suktam. Okay, so there are many such mandalas in a Rigveda, many portions. It comes in a 151 Suktam. Okay, in a Yajurveda, as I told you, this is the 2nd chapter, and the 8th this one. I don't know what is canto. I'm very used to the kandam, so that is what used in the Vedas as well. So each and every Veda or a suktam, which has to come with 3 things once again: Rishihi, Chandaha, Devata. Okay, and once again the always 3 is playing major role here. Let's understand the 3. What's the significance of 3 in the end as well? Once again the 3 classification: Rishihi, Chandaha, Devata, which means one who envisioned the mantra is who is called as a Rishihi, And the chandaha, the particular mantra which is envisioned, and the alphabetical counts and the many varanic counts, all such considering all such thing is what called as a chandaha, and also called as a sonnet. Even we use in English Shakespeare sentences. Even in a haiku, it is called in Japan, which has 767 counts. Okay, in a sentence. So that is what called as a chandaha. And the last one is a devata, whom you are worshipping. So the goal of a mantra is what called as a devata. And these three things are very, very significant. Rishihi, one who envisioned it, the mantraha, the chandas, the counting of the alphabets, or structuring them. Then the last thing is devata, from the mantra whom you are addressing to, approaching to. So he is what called as a devata tattva, the divine source. Okay. And now here in the Shraddha Sukta, Shraddha Kamayani is a Rishihi. Shraddha Kamayani is a Rishihi. Shraddha is a Devata. Okay. Majorly here there is a Anushtup Chandas. Anushtup Chandas, which means 8 syllables in a pada. So there are 4 padas in a shloka. That means. So let's understand the same word Shraddha by another perception. Okay, now we understood where Shraddha Sukta came, where it is located. Now the address is good. Now we have to reach it physically, mentally, emotionally, and everything. By every senses, we have to reach a Shraddha. Now, pata lag gaya, oh, kahan hai wo? So sorry, my Hindi is too bad. Okay, so this is how we understand. So in a normal senses, we understand Shraddha as a kind of blind following somebody as a blindly. Okay, for example, there is a wonderful story in a Kannada. I don't know how many of you can relate it. There was a guru. Okay, and he has a very obedient student called Hari. Okay, and his guru is so much into the spirituality, because his guru has initiated him into the nama japa process. Okay, he has to do 1,000 times of nama japa, Narayana, 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 always. Okay, so his shishya, disciple's name is also the Narayana, and the initiated mantra is also called as a Narayana. Now Guru, in some fine day, he sat in the middle of the Gurukula, the construction. So he sat over there and started chanting Hari Narayana mantra 108 times, 1,008 times, something. Okay, so he started chanting Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, something. Now the Shishya is outside. Now his name is Narayana. In a Kannada, Hari means to tear up things. Okay, when the guru came out of the construction, came out of the room, his all clothes were like, and guru asked him, hey, why did you do this? And he told, I have an unconditional trust in you, so that's why whatever you ordered me, just I followed it. I never questioned you, and still I am not questioning you. So this is it a faith? Is it a Shraddha? No, it is not a Shraddha. So that's why there is a wonderful explanation by Shankaracharya is that Shraddha has to follow the Medha, and Medha should give it to you, give you the prajna in the end. Okay, Shraddha, now the faith. Why I'm always saying you can't translate the Sanskrit word into English just because of this. Shraddha can't be translated as a faith. I tell you why faith. Faith is something you have a trust or you have a belief in something which has no proof. For example, I have a belief in an airline. They come on a time always. Okay, this is what you have a belief system that they always maintain the time course or something or the other. Now you have a belief system that that is not leading you somewhere out of the context. It is just giving you the information or such things. The Shraddha, which has to lead you somewhere, which is more beyond it, mean more higher context. Shraddha is that. Now you have a Shraddha on a Narayana, which means the Shraddha which is carrying you or taking you to the Narayana Tattva, which is far more better than you. So that is what Shraddha means. So it is not just unconditional faith, unconditional trust or something, which has to lead you somewhere which you can't even imagine, beyond your senses. That is what called as a Shraddha. And that's why the Shankaracharya states wonderfully here, Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satya Buddhi Avadharana Sashraddha Kathita Sadbhihi Yaya Vastu Palabhyate is a shloka. Once again, you can have it after the class as well, which says the Shraddha which you have as a unquestionable thing, which is not that. The Shraddha which always come with the questions. That's why I mean we always added the Medha after the Shraddha, because you don't have to follow the people or a tradition or the Guru blindly. You have to ask for something more. That is what Medha. So from questioning, if you are convinced, it's not about conviction or being convinced. It is about realizing the things. The realization itself is called a prajna. Understand? The progress, having a Shraddha, is the result of it is a Medha, questioning, always questioning. If once you are realized the Shraddha, then the prajna will reach you, or you will reach the prajna. So that's a sense we have to acquire within ourselves. So that is what Shraddha. It is not just a blind faith without a proof. It is always question. Shraddha is always question. That's why Vivekananda always says, whatever the thing come from the Western, you have to question it first, because there is no such thing that because for example, the genes, Coca-Cola, you have to ask yourself, is it good for my health or bad? Then you have to acquire that. When it comes from the India or a Bharata state, of philosophical state, you have to do what? You have to get into the process, then you question. Okay, so your grandparents told you to do a puja, get into the process, then question why is a puja, whom I should worship, and what's the procedure, all such thing. Because this parampara, this Samskriti had the wonderful question series all the way down. Even for Arjuna, even for Krishna, we consider him as a divine entity. So he was questioned by Arjuna, step by step, each and every step he was questioned. And the Ishvara Gita, wonderful one more scripture from the Bhagavad Gita itself, from the Mahabharata itself, it's full of questions. Ashtavakra Gita is full of questions. Bhagavad Gita is full of questions. Vishnu Sahasranama, let it be, it's full of questions. There are 8 sacred questions in the right beginning of a Vishnu Sahasranama. Kim Tad Brahma Kim Adhyatmam is in a Bhagavad Gita. In the same manner, there is a question. So if Shraddha, the faith, if you wanted to translate it as, if it is questioned day by day, step by step, then it will become Shraddha. So this is a transformation faith to the Shraddha. Now it's a procedure to get into the Shraddha. Once you get into the Shraddha, now once you realize this is a truth, then you will be followed by what you call Shraddha itself is a motivation there. Shraddha itself is a motivation. The Shraddha will take care of everything else, which has to come to you, which hasn't mean everything. Just that. So this is what called as a Shraddha, wonderfully said. And this is the Vedantic perception of having Shraddha. And let's come to the yogic perception. What is Shraddha here? Shraddha, which means in the yoga, we understood already, it is not just about having asana and pranayama, it's not jogging, it's not going to the gym. It is to understand ourselves. No, this is a proper underline of a Veda. Sorry, yoga. My understanding of being in this Vedic journey, whatever the thing which came from the Veda, which always aimed at your senses or your well-being always. Let it be a Ayurveda, let it be a yoga, let it be whatever the things which address the person from his root or her root. Okay, and that's why the Ayurveda, if you go to the Ayurvedic, the doctor, they ask you for, they ask you what are the disease you have and what are the things, and they address the gunas. What are the gunas? The doshas. What are the doshas? Do you remember? Huh?
Pitta, Kapha.
Pitta, Kapha. He knows it, huh? Because he undergone it. No? Vata, Pitta, Kapha. They give a medicine to that, and the disease will cure automatically. So that is what Vedas are always aiming towards. They give you the root meditation or a meditation as the technique, and the meditation will transform you by every senses. It gave you the yoga by practicing, performing a yoga, you will transform yourself into a beautiful personality. So that's the wonderfulness of Veda tradition itself. So when it comes to the yoga philosophy, there is a sutra from Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, Prajna Purvaka Itaresham. It's a first chapter's 8th sutra, if I'm not wrong. Okay, Shraddha, the first word is Shraddha. Virya, second word. Smriti, Prajna Purvaka Itaresham. It's a what sequence? Right off the Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi. Remember these words. Now let's understand the Shraddha meaning here. The Shraddha here, which is a source of Virya. Virya is an energy, unconditional what? Strength or will is what called as a Viryam here. And the next is Smriti. Smriti is a memory or remembrance. Okay, right after it, it is Samadhi. Samadhi, will understand Samadhi is not the dead person's this. Samadhi is a state of mind. It's not a graveyard thing. So we in a Karnataka we understand Samadhi is like Swamiji Samadhi Namaskar karo or something. That no, it's a state of mind. Samadhi. Prajna, the last thing is you will realize it, who you are, such thing. It is called as a prajna. Now the Shraddha, now here according to the yoga, it is a source of Virya, and the Virya will cause out the Smriti, Prajna, Samadhi. Okay, now we'll understand even the deeper senses, in deeper senses. Shraddha, I told you it will give you the Virya, that means energy, the strength or a will capacity, and the Virya will take you to the Smriti. Here the speciality lies. The Smriti, which doesn't mean just the memory or a remembrance. It means the memory of past janma. Here is a twist. Okay, and here in the context, what is happening here is there are two kinds of samadhis: asampragnata samadhi, sampragnata samadhi. Sampragnata samadhi, which means a yogi, one who is free to do a sadhana and who attained the smriti or a memory of a past janma, and now he is applying it to making together. What is it? He is joining them together and doing a sadhana out of it. So that is what called as sampragnata samadhi. Now, when it comes to asampragnata samadhi, it is the rule or regulation for the normal yogi to address the past memory. Okay. Now the Shraddha Suktam is a basement for this cultivation. So why they are saying so? Once you remember the past janma, it may seem very illogical, but I'm referring to the Shastras once again. Please bear with me. So once you reach the past janma, the past memory, you remember, you could able to remember the past memory. Now in this present Janma, now you are kind of content for, because whatever you have to experience, you thought of experience in this life is already experienced in the previous life. So now I wanted to experience the max, mean I want to go to what the transaction, what the shopping and many such thing. I have to have some more happiness and contentful life in this life. If you see that it is already experienced in the past Janma, it is already experienced in the past Janma. Now you are relating the past experience to the present. Now, whatever you thought of experiencing in this Janma is already done. Now you are a personality of fullness, the complete personality now. Now you are able to, now you are allowed to go to Samadhi directly. This is what the concept of Asampragnata Samadhi. Asampragnata Samadhi. And the Samadhi will give you rise to the Pragna, which is a greater realization of Brahman. This is what called as a Asampragnata Samadhi Shraddha. Okay. Is it very illogical? No, no, no. It's a Shastric. Beyond our understanding. That's all. It's not illogical. Now, let us come to Shraddha Suktam right now, understanding all the perceptions of different Shastras. May it be a Yoga, Veda, Vedanta. Now we are eligible to understand the Shraddha Suktam properly. Let's understand it in the next class. Now time got over. Harihi Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.